All right. Hi, my name is Kim. I'm a person who lived with experience as far as homelessness is concerned, and I have 19 cats. I also have a YouTube channel showcasing those cats and my life with them, trying to normalize that your house doesn't have to be perfect. Just because you don't have a mansion in Beverly Hills and a staff of people to take care of your animals, and you're not a hoarder, does not mean that you can't be normal with multiple cat households. I have run into my fair share of, I guess, prejudice due to the fact that I have that many animals, and people are quick to judge and to call me a hoarder when they don't know the actual definition, because legally the definition is just having more animals than you can reasonably care for. So a hoarder could have 2 animals. If they can't care for them, that's technically a hoarder. I have 19 and I care for mine in a very spacious house, and so my mission is just to normalize that and to help to change some of the policies regarding how animal services and human services do not work together, and hopefully integrated case management, which is something Wanda introduced me to and I'm a big fan of, and helping out with whatever she asked me to help out with, because I'm one of her biggest fans. So
Kim and I have known each other for a while now, and we've had different experiences with access to vet care and animal homeless and being homeless with a companion animal. So I'll let Kim go ahead first and talk about her experiences.
Thanks, Wanda. My experience, I'll start with the homeless part. Through a series of just very unfortunate events, I actually had 16 cats at one time. This was 2.5 years ago. And I ended up homeless, and my only option was to get a hotel room. And so I got a hotel room at a Red Roof Inn in Minnesota. And if you've ever been to a Red Roof Inn, you know the size of those rooms. And I was stuck in that room for 6 months with 16 cats. And every day I had to be in fear of coming home from work and finding that housekeeping had come into the room, found my cats, called the authorities, and I no longer had my cats. To give you a little bit of an idea, was it ideal? No, but I had a job. I had a job that paid me $48,000 a year. I could more than afford the hotel room. I could more than afford the cats. It was not a matter of they were not being cared for. It was a matter of policy that would have cost me my cats when I had done nothing wrong. So that's where it comes in, where I had said earlier, wanting to help start changing things as far as things like that are concerned, because at that point, if they would have come in, animal welfare would have just gone by their policies and been like, this is a hoarding situation. We need to get these cats out of here for their own good, when the cats were not being harmed. And no one would have been there to speak up for me, which is why I'm such a huge fan of the integrated case management that Wanda has introduced me to. As far as veterinary care, I am so happy to hear what you guys are going into and what your interests are, because that is so needed. It's so just across the board everywhere for so many people. Even me sitting here now will sit here and I will tell you, affordable, care is something that I really need access to. I have 19 of them. Can I afford them on a daily basis? Yes, I can. I have a 2-story, 3-bedroom house that I have more than enough room for the cats. The problem that comes in is when it comes to vet care, it's difficult, because do I have $1,000, $2,000 just sitting in an account somewhere that I can just toss out if an emergency came up? No, I don't. So you know what my options become at that point? For the good of my animal, I would have no choice but to surrender my animal to a humane society in order to get them the medical treatment. And now I lost my animal. Why? Because I don't know many people that just have $2,000 sitting around. Insurance for animals is a joke. A, it's too expensive when people have multiple animal households, and B, it doesn't cover hardly anything you actually need when the need comes up. It's just showing the lack of access for somebody like me who has come from that situation, bettered everything, and I'm in a position where I got just about everything, but I still would be in a position where if a huge emergency came up, I would have to surrender my animal. I would lose an animal. So yes, affordable vet care is something that is not just needed by people that are currently experiencing homelessness, but people that have a home and have multiple animals. And it's just definitely something that we need. And I'm so grateful that you guys are interested in that, because that's that's wonderful that you guys have that specific drive in mind, and I'm very happy to hear that. As far as dealing with vets in the past, because of how many cats I have, you can imagine the kind of eyebrow raising I get when I try to find a vet. I get in there, I talk to the vet, I talk to the staff, and I immediately get the cold shoulder. I get judged, and I get basically, kind of treated like I'm a bad person right off the bat. And I have to work really hard in my relationship with a vet in order to gain any kind of respect or dignity with them, because they automatically hear how many cats I have and they assume, even the vets, which I know that this is something that society has kind of done, which is, again, why I wanted the YouTube channel, because I want to start normalizing the fact that not everybody's a hoarder if they have multiple cats. I moved to Missouri 2.5 years ago, and I've been in struggle trying to find a good vet because I don't need that issue. And so that's something that I'd like to see, a little bit of a change in. And again, that's why I'm working with Wanda to do what we do, just to try to help that stigma, especially with the vet community or the veterinary community. One of my cats just came down with an upper respiratory infection. And I'm very fortunate. I listened to Wanda's story about how things are so difficult there with, with policies and whatever. I'm very fortunate to live in an area that's actually very well funded, because I've been getting all my cats shots lately for free because there's been a huge grant coming through for distemper and rabies. But, one of my cats just came down with an upper respiratory infection. I can afford to take my cats in for $70, visit, whatever. When I'm speaking of, the crisis situations, like Wanda said, it makes it even more difficult because here I am. I'm bringing my cats in. I just got done with a 7-day, antibiotic treatment for the cat and got her respiratory infection taken care of. So again, this is compounded by the fact that if there was a serious emergency that would cost $1,000, no, I can't. However, just let me reiterate, I am upkeeping their health. I am bringing them to the vet. I can afford those things, but it's those big things that all of a sudden I literally would have to, after doing all these things, and I'm being a good pet parent. I think that's where it adds insult to injury, is that situation right there. It's like, okay, I've been doing all these things. They all have their shots. They're all well taken care of. But an emergency happens, and now you want to take them from me and claim that I'm a bad person?
I know, I don't know what it's like now, but I know I actually thought about becoming a vet when I was much, much younger. And at that time, it was harder to get into vet school than it was medical school. And I know it's very expensive. I know, bless both of you, because, you're not chasing the dollar. Obviously, you're doing this because you care about pets, you care about people. And I just applaud both of you. I think it's really heartening to see young people that are wanting to get into the profession, because we desperately need more. But we also need people like yourselves. We need kind, compassionate people that understand the way things really are, and you're willing to learn, and you're willing to
listen to a couple of us sit here and go ahead and talk like
us older ladies. And
speak for yourself. I'm still 30. I thoroughly applaud you guys, not just because of the field that you're wanting to specialize in, but because being a vet would be something I would love to do, but there's no way I could deal with the loss. So I just applaud you guys for being those strong people that can do that and somehow manage to deal with the loss as well, because that's got to be just taxing emotionally. And I'm in awe of anybody that can do that. But then for you guys to also want to, focus on affordable vet care for people is just, honestly, I hate to be the older lady that goes, for you young people to be so great. Listen, I really, I applaud you so much. And I'm so grateful for people like you guys that are willing to do that. So just know that you have my absolute undying admiration and gratefulness. Before I met Wanda, even with my story that you've heard, in Missouri, we have a very high homeless population here. And they're literally everywhere on every street corner and everything else, because there's really no panhandling laws down here. But before I met Wanda, I was one of those people, even with my history, that looked at these people that had dogs with them. And I'm like, you can't take care of yourself. Why you got that dog? Give somebody else that dog. literally just months ago, I was that person that had that thought in my head. Then I met Wanda, started getting involved in all this stuff, started realizing that that's all they have. And who the hell am I with my history, what I've been through? Who am I to make that judgment? So I don't want you to feel bad that you might have been that person, because a couple months ago, I literally had an opinion like that. And who the hell am I to have that opinion?
Yeah, thank you so much. This was very, I learned so much from you guys, and I hope to be able to continue to help people like you.
Thank you so much. All right, Wanda, let's let them have their life now.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
We're all we got
a captive audience here. you know my controlling nature, Kim.
That's why I'm trying to tell you. I'm gonna make her let you guys go now.
Have a good rest.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you guys.
Bye.
Bye.